here. Hey, Rosie. Team, we have something very cool, very quirky that's going to happen in the halfway through this call tonight. So make sure you're listening in. Could be coins on the table for you.
Could be coins.
Could be coins on the table for you. Thanks for your patience, team. As we're just letting a lot of members jumping into the call. I'm a little last minute. Thank you for those of you that were right on time. In saying that, welcome to week 2 of our Sober October 30-day drink less game. Week 2, we're diving into neuropsychology of alcohol. Neuropsychology, I should say, of alcohol. And I'm absolutely pumped and excited. Me and Nat are definitely keen on this call. This is one of Nat's favorites, I think.
It is one of my favorites. It's so fascinating.
And if any of you are on this call, and any of you have joined the Drink Less Feel Fresh community, whether it's our online personal Feel Fresh membership area, or it's this Sober October game that we're playing, if any of you want to, or you enjoy the idea of one day choosing how much you do or don't drink and learning the art of having a couple and then potentially stopping, then this call is going to be right up your alley. Nat, feel free to jump in and confirm if that's the case. It certainly is.
Yeah, maybe you've nailed it. All right, so Tommy, are we good to go, Tommy? Are we?
You know what, team? To do the service to those of you that rocked out right on time. I know there's people going to be jumping in, but Nat, the space is all yours, team. Welcome. I'm going to hand over to Nat, and I'll be looking after the chat panel. So please keep rocking out in there. The more engagement we have in there really drives how deep we go.
All right, guys. So last week we covered the depth of why, and we looked at emotion and motivation. Hopefully, you guys have done that exercise, got a bit out of that. Actually, just hands up, who did take the time to go through their 12 reasons why? Oh, okay, nice, beautiful. And then obviously we went into the stress calibration curve about why building up stress debt with alcohol can be a problem in the long term. We're going to transition this into today. I know neuropsychology sounds like a big word, but we're going to keep it really fun and really obvious. So what we're going to do is I'm going to take you through some really easy to see and easy to interpret graphs on what happens in a drinking session to our psychology and our mood. So two sections of tonight: psychology and mood during a drinking session. And then Tommy and I will collaborate on what we've just called the 2-drink methodology, or the 2-drink measure, which is a really nice tactical thing to take away too. So let's do it. All right, team, let's go over nice and slow. What we have here is two colored lines. The blue line is endorphin level and the white line is blood alcohol. So as blood alcohol, here's a little party trick, a little pub trick I tell with my mates as well. If you want to have a good night on the booze, then what you do is you drink a lot, fast, and early. They go, what? Why? Well, I'll take you through the science of what happens on our blood alcohol level and our mood. As you're having a beverage and your blood alcohol is increasing, it's actually the increase in blood alcohol levels that gives the endorphin rush. So it's not the alcohol itself, it's the increase in blood alcohol levels as it's rising. So as the blood alcohol is rising, the endorphins are pumping. This is where you get increased mood, you get increased endorphins, you get increasing gregariousness, you get all this happy feel-good stuff. You also get a pain-killing effect. So you imagine this, right? You get first 2 drinks in, you get a combination of optimism, excited, gregarious, and a pain-killing threshold. And so, guys, this brings up the question. The question is not why do we drink? The question is why are we not drinking all the time? It's a serious question. Well, because something happens with our blood alcohol that changes everything. So this first slide here, guys, first 2 drinks, blood alcohol increases. It's the increase in the blood alcohol that changes the mood, that changes the tone of what it's like to be you. And it's always in a pretty nice nice feeling way. Let's continue on our journey here. Something interesting happens. As the blood alcohol starts to level, normally 2 or 3 drinks in, right? So your blood alcohol comes up and then it levels because your body's natural system starts to do its thing. This is when your mood starts to stabilize, right? You're kind of, it's not feeling the same as the first 2 drinks, because as the blood alcohol levels off, the endorphins levels start to drop as well. So bear with me. I'm just going to move you guys out of the way. Get that out of there. There we go. This is when, even in a drinking session, your mood can return to normal. The sense of satisfaction you first got tends to drop. Key point with this stage, guys, and in a drinking session, in a single drinking session, there'll be a moment when you start drinking, you have 1, you have 2, you're really present, because alcohol, the first 1 or 2 will bury you into the moment. The second you start thinking about your past or your future, that is actually a sign that the blood alcohol is leveling off. The blood alcohol has stabilized, and the normal, rational, waking mind is starting to again interpret past and future. The initial buzz is worn off. This is why Tommy and I will take you through the 2-drink measure. And I don't want to skip to the end too much, but this is what happens at this level here. So before we go any further, let's jump into the chat now. Who has experienced this, understands this, feels this in themselves, that you get the elevation of the first 1 or 2 or even 3, and then you get the stabilizing of the blood alcohol? What's that like for you guys? Pop it in the chat, please. Tommy.
So as you're commenting through, team, and I'd love to hear from everybody right now. One of our amazing members has commented through, damn, that buzz doesn't last long enough.
It doesn't.
It doesn't last long enough. But what I love about that comment there, and thank you very much, Anita, for sharing that, is that part of living with choice and freedom is actually understanding facts. And that comment actually provides a huge insight into what the drug alcohol is actually doing. And it can almost be a bit like deflating to realize, oh, it is quite short and sharp. It isn't this 8-hour, beautiful thing that I enjoy. Is that right, Nat? Like, it's quite interesting to look at
absolutely
what it is and what you're actually getting out of it, and realizing, well, if that is the 2 drinks in like 30 or 40 minutes, and then that's it, and then you can't capitalize on that anymore. Well,
yes.
I don't say this slightly, but either time to choose another drug or time to let this one go.
Yeah. There's plenty of other good things out there that are very natural and they're not poison.
Loving these comments coming through. Feeling great in the beginning, then there's such a big fall. Oh, this one's a great comment. The first drink feels like it's a bit of armor, but also losing defenses at the same time. Yeah, it's incredible. And that was sharing on within one of our mastermind communities, Sarah, the approach of, the ability to defend yourself also then opens yourself up to vulnerability. That's such an interesting comment, your one there. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah, guys, it's probably a good time, Tommy, you just reminded me, a good time to really think about what is your personal experience of the first 2 drinks. Now, I'll give you some options. It either strengthens boundaries and you feel like a sense of self is there, where you can talk and be confident and socialize. There's a return of the self, or there's finally a letting go and there's a surrender and there's that feels really good and I can just settle into my own skin, and there's a dissolving of boundary. So it's a really good insight to ask yourself, in my first 2 drinks, am I getting uplifted, stronger boundaries, here I am, I'm here to go, or am I getting the really nice dissolving of the boundary?
There's actually, I hope we don't. Team, is it all right if every now and then, now that we've passed our welcome video and call, which was last week, and you kind of understand
that one is hanging out.
If a rabbit hole happens to open up, is it okay to share value on that? Would that be okay? I know some people might be really analytical and critical and want to stick to the slide we're looking at, so I don't want to do a disservice. Thanks for the comments coming through.
Yeah, what are some comments there, Tommy? Just looking for what's happening boundary-wise.
Yeah, so a lot of, probably about 70% saying that they switch off, relax, and open up. And then there's a couple here. I one saying that I'm definitely the second, a way to calm the storm. So team, what I was about to share in the rabbit hole, so to speak, is in my own journey, and let me know if you resonate with this team. In my own journey, my relationship with alcohol was so oblivious and ignorant that I was the victim of the experience. I didn't know why and how. And then the second part of my journey with alcohol was actually realizing, now I can use alcohol to do one of two things, switch off or switch on. And so one of the comments there that a member has commented through, which is, I can use it as a way to calm the storm. These days, I know I could have a beverage to switch off. And these days, I know I can be so tired, but need to get somewhere or have a beverage to switch on and show up. But that is a part of everybody's, drinking journeys, to become consciously aware of how you're utilizing alcohol as opposed to just being a victim of it, so to speak.
Guys, I'd like to take this time at this stage for everyone to do a little test for me, which is go have a drink, one standard drink at some point. Go have one standard drink, wait 10 minutes. Oh, sorry, start again. Check your pulse, get your heart rate, 60 beats a minute, 70 beats a minute, whatever. Have a drink, wait 10 minutes, take your pulse again. If there is a rise of 20% or more in heart rate, we'll slow down. If there's a rise in 20% or more in heart rate, then alcohol is a stimulant for you. Alcohol is put in the depressant category for most people, but there is a subsection of the population that when they drink, it actually acts as a stimulant. My wife is one of them. So when she drinks, it's 1, it's 2, and then it's where's the party? Because of the mood and the endorphins, and it elevates her. Me, I have 1 drink, 2 drink, where's bed? It's bedtime. So we have completely different reactions, and we have to manage this when we want to have a casual drink, because, I have to sometimes match her and she has to come down with me so we have a nice experience together. So that's a little test you can do. Check pulse, drink, wait 10 minutes. If your pulse is elevated 20% or more, then it's most likely alcohol is a stimulant for you. And if it's a stimulant, it's going to be a trickier journey. And that's just the truth of it.
I trust everyone's appreciating the honest view and approach here, that if you can approach this journey with curiosity, like even what Nat's sharing there is so against the traditional alcohol reduction industry. Wait, what? What? You can't tell me to have a drink, even though most of the people listening know that this weekend they're getting boozed anyway.
Yeah.
So take it with a grain of salt, but yeah, just incredible there. I love Den's comment has come through. Den's obviously really listening to the game. I love it. Den has shared, hey, I'm not having a drink during my sober October game, but nice try, Nat.
Yeah, good.
I love it, Den.
Good,
Thank you.
Very
Fantastic.
good.
All right, loving all the comments coming through, team. Let's move on.
Okay, let's finish off our little piece here. All right, so when the blood alcohol really drops, this is when you get the crash. This is when the depressant phase takes over. The enthusiasm is gone, the tiredness. Everyone knows the experience, right? You're out having a good time. Everything is going great. And then all of a sudden, that black cloud comes over. And you go, oh, I'm out of here. That is when the blood alcohol has fallen off a cliff. And some people, they've got such a high from the booze that then they start to feel regret and guilt and, oh my God, I've done it again. I need to get home. I need to get in bed. I need water. I need aspirin. I need everything because I just need to protect myself for tomorrow. And then the endorphins, your just general happy hormones, they drop below resting level. And then you've got to spend the next day or so recovering those things. And, we have a hangover. So that's the cycle of a drinking session. We go up, we level, and then we crash. The wisest piece of advice I can give you is drink fast, go hard early. I'm kidding. But yes, it's the psychology is mixed in, not with the substance. The psychology and mood change is mixed in with the change in blood alcohol. The change in blood alcohol causes all the reactions, which changes our mood and our experience. So you can start to optimize with facts and know with choice, have 1 or 2 drinks, enjoy them, get the peak of the experience and let the rest go. And that's where choice lies. This is the stage here where I call people start the chase. The chase is deadly, team. When you get tired and you don't want to go home and you don't want to do whatever and you want to keep the party going or you want to keep the fun going, if you try and drink fast or drink more, when you feel tired, that is where the damage is done. The damage of alcohol is done when the depressant phase starts and you try and chase. Because what's happening is the blood alcohol is coming down and then it starts to come up and down like this. And that's a recipe for blood chemistry damage, which causes a lot of, it's just excessive recovery. Tommy.
Just going to jump in here. Thanks for your comment, Bonnie. Thanks, Rosie. Thanks, Amanda. Somebody sharing that hits home really hard. Who else is this really resonating with? Is anyone else really, as well as listening to what Nat's sharing here, but really trying that on themselves and gaining some huge potential realizations or some aha moments within your own relationship with alcohol? Remember, sometimes the truth hurts, but sometimes the truth triggers change. Yep. Fantastic. Keep comments coming through.
Beautiful. All right, Tommy, is now the time? Should we release the bonus?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's do it.
All right. So, team, who would like, what do we got? A couple hundred coins, Nat?
Couple hundred
coins. It sounds better than saying 200.
Yeah.
Team, who would like 200 coins? Got a fun, quirky activity for you. You don't have to take action on it right now. You can do it immediately after this call. But 200 coins to everybody who is willing and eager and curious and excited, because it's got to be fun, to send a little fun fact about yourself that not everybody would know, and just send it over to info@drinklessfeelfresh.com. Now, if you do that, I'll make sure I debit your account with 200 coins tomorrow. But for everybody that sends it through, as well as the 200 coins, I'm going to put them in a raffle, and I'll raffle it off Friday, and the winner will receive bonus 500 coins. Thanks for the comments coming through. Yeah, fun, quirky fact. I'll go first if it's okay. Not everybody knows that I have a bit of an obsession with rom-coms. I love, Nat gives me a hard time about it. I love a romantic comedy. Melts my heart.
Shocker. I've got a bit of a bad one too. When I was younger, I was very committed to a certain sport. I got very good at it. I was the local 10-pin bowling champion.
Really? That is great, Nat. That is fantastic. So, team, remember, lighthearted, fun, quirky, share with me. I'm the only one reading the email. info@drinklessfeelfresh.com, or you can simply reply to any of the emails that I've sent you and that you'll receive. There's only 24 hours to do that. So jump on in, take action.
That's the gift of coming to these calls, guys. We get to hang out, we get to meet, and there's bonuses. There's always bloody bonuses.
Yeah, and probably good time for the question, team. Who is anyone here appreciating, or not really appreciating, just freaking enjoying the connection side of this journey? We've got the app side.
Yeah, it's my favorite bit for sure.
You know, I've got my daily tasks and activities, and I need to do these, so I remain abstinent from alcohol for the 31 days. But who's enjoying the fun, the engaging, the connection, somewhere to hang out and play, and ultimately really transform the relationship we have with ourselves more so than anything? Okay, heaps of comments. So who would like more fun next Tuesday night?
Yeah, okay, we've got a good plan next Tuesday.
So show up with your eager, I don't know what to call it, heads tuned in for some potential Feel Fresh trivia. Might happen, not sure. Just show up.
We'll see. Could be some coins up.
But until then,
go for it, mate. Go for it. Sorry, I cut you off. I cut you off, mate. Go for it.
Until then, team, we're going to wrap up tonight with a really, really interesting philosophy, something that I've practiced myself since 2014 when I first acknowledged that I had a problem with alcohol and I wanted to create choice. I never wanted to go down the journey of abstinence. And if that's for you, that's fantastic. We'll have you back. We'll give you all the tools you need to do that. But I wanted to live with choice, and I was determined to prove the specialist wrong, who said you would never be able to have more than 2 beers and stop, Thomas. You'll never be able to do that. I'm very grateful for those people, and if I did see them again, I'd thank them deeply from my heart, because they led to a deep passion and aggressive nature to find out exactly how to do it and help others do it.
Beautiful. All right, so this is Tommy's Brainchat, and I think it's one of the most clever, simple things to implement as a measure. So when we're trying to create change, people tend to throw the kitchen sink at it, do all this stuff, but really, what are we measuring here? How do we know when we're successful? How do we know what choice looks like in an alcohol reduction journey? Well, here it is. Normally it goes like this. Pattern number 1. Let's say Tommy 10 years ago. If I'm going to drink, I'm going to send it. That's pattern number 1. That's the relationship with alcohol that a lot of people have. If I'm going to drink, I'm going to drink and drink and drink. That's what I'm here to get drunk. I'm here to have a good time, whatever it is. There's no conscious activity going on. It's just, that's the decision. It's black and white. Excuse the slang. I think it just makes it fun. I'm going to send it. Pattern number 2. I know booze can be, this is the growth journey. I know booze can be a problem for me. I'm doing a short, medium, or long-term detox, right? So this is the realization. I'm a bit stuck. It's getting in the way of things that matter most to me. I'm doing a detox. I've got a lot of clients that do this. They go drink, drink, drink and have a good time. And then it kind of gets out of hand and they realize it. And then they stop it all in detox. And they kind of bounce back and forth between that. Where we bring this 2-drink measure in is pattern number 3. And I love this. When Tommy shared it, I thought this was the most brilliant, easy to use thing. Pattern number 3. I can have 2 drinks and call it there. And that is the measure. That is the measure. If you can have 2 drinks and call it, that's the beginning of choice. Now you might go, I'm going to have 2 drinks and I'm calling it, but I want a third, but I'm not going to do it. That's fine. You're still embedding this new pattern. And if you can't do that as the measure, then you cycle back to pattern 2 and detox again. And just be honest with yourself. I can't just have 2 yet. I'm going to go detox again. You bounce between 2 and 3 until you can do 3 over and over and over, and you'll be a different person. Tommy, how'd it go?
Absolutely nailed it. No, absolutely. Right. Team, jump into the comments panel. Who's loving this? This is, as Nat called it, a bit of a brainchild of mine. Not overly too many people get access to this unless they've kind of been in the Drink Less Feel Fresh membership community for a long time or they've worked with us personally, because it's not to be shared with someone who isn't ready to hear it. You know, it's if you're going to use this as a reason to go, yeah, I got told I could have 2 drinks, and then 7 days later, after 7 bottles of Savvy B, you're like, well, you know, someone shouldn't have told me that, and it's probably not the message for you. But if you're serious about it, if you're committed, and the reason why we shared it tonight is Nat shared the psychology behind it. If you can have 2 drinks, and as Nat said, it doesn't matter if you're thinking about having a third, I would suggest that you want yourself to want a third. That's where the change
for
occurs.
sure.
That's where the trust you build in yourself. I had a beautiful member, one of my private clients on the call today, and the message I gave her was actually, if the journey's easy for you, there's no way to measure whether you do or not trust yourself to stick to your commitment.
Love it.
And the measure, and what I was sharing there is if your alcohol reduction journey is really easy, that's fantastic. Wishing you all the success. That's great. But how do we know who you're going to be when you have the urge to have a beverage? We don't, because we don't know how you operate when you have that urge to drink. You've given yourself permission to drink too. You're not even in a rehab clinic or locked into a detox challenge. So when you have that freedom to choose, you know you can have another drink, you want another drink, but you choose not to. Now you're actually building what's called character. And character is only built
I love it.
challenge. So just jump into the comments panel. Let me know if that's okay that we've shared that with you. I know it's only week 2. Some of you are probably, actually some of you are new to the Drink Less Feel Fresh way of doing things. So I'd love to hear from you. And just to reiterate, team, the relationship neurologically that most of us have with alcohol is send it. When I drink hard. You know, Charlie Sheen says he puts his foot to the floor and he doesn't stop. A lot of us have that mentality. It's not all us. We're not going to pass blame. A lot of it is the Australian drinking culture, and they teach us to do this really well. The second,
it's also very profitable to drink.
Yes, it's very profitable. The second process and pattern that Nat said there, you want to learn is detox. This whole comment in, team, who's tried this? I'm going to moderate. I'll drink on the weekend. I'll drink on the weekends, not on the week. I'll have 2 drinks.
Yeah. Okay.
Try it for sure. Go, but you don't. You just don't have to cause yourself that much pain. The second attempt is no. I've got to train myself that if I don't want alcohol in my life, I can achieve that. It will be painful. I won't like it. It'll annoy me. I'll get effing frustrated, but I can do it. Insert. That's why we created the Sober October and the Drink Less Feel Fresh game. But the third approach, for those of you that want long-term choice and freedom, would then be toying with the idea of starting and stopping. And as Nat said, end of 2 drinks is perfect. The end of 2 drinks is perfect. And I can't count.
You can have your cake and eat it too.
You can too. You can have your cake and eat it too. If you build the character of being committed and disciplined, and you are passionate, you're more passionate about living with choice than you are about chasing your alcohol level high in the moment. That's all you've got to be. You'll be more passionate about living with choice and freedom than you are about chasing the 3rd drink. Just going to check.
Mate, it's so good to be able to share. Like we've played our game a few times before, guys, but it's really nice to be able to share some of the stuff we do with our memberships and other stuff we've got going on into here. It's a little taster, but it's so nice to get it all happening and meeting you guys. It's great.
Thanks for sharing that. Just reading all the comments coming through. Nat will now take us through. Sorry, Nat, just one moment. Just had a comment here. Beautiful. One of our long-term members has actually shared a great comment, which will resonate and be valuable to a lot of people, which is the only way I can build the character is with these challenges. You need to stop to be able to start the way you want. Anita, so well said.
Yeah, nice, Anita.
So well said. And I'm going to be really honest and vulnerable here, team. I say that I have a relationship with alcohol that I absolutely love and respect. But you know what I do the minute I go, I had a couple too many the other night, or I had too many at that wedding, or even if I just go, I had 3 drinks last month, wish I didn't. Here's the thing, team. To understand your relationship with alcohol, all you need, it doesn't matter if you have 1 drink a month or 50, you got to ask yourself, do I feel proud or guilty? So for me, it might be, and this isn't a judgment, for me, it might be, I had 3 drinks last month. I'm feeling a little bit off. Do you know what I do when that happens? Go back to step 2. And I go, just detox.
Yeah.
That is literally how I still live my life. If I ever feel that I'm consuming more alcohol than I would like personally, I just go straight back to, 30 days off, 90 days off. Let's get back to living life. I hope
nice.
With you. No, all yours.
All right, team, wrapping up. So the first 2 to 3 drinks is the peak of the experience because that's the rise of blood alcohol. Don't try and cheat it. You can't cheat chemistry. When all your thinking is about the next drink, when your thoughts you're being intruded almost. There's this, when's the next drink? Where is it going to come from? What am I going to have? That's when the chase starts. So be careful of that little signal when you're just thinking about the next drink. Because think about this, guys. When you think about the next drink, you're not present, so you're not getting anything out of the experience anyway. When thoughts of the future come in, that's the perfect time to call it. It's difficult, but that is the signal. That is the signal. What am I going to feel like tomorrow? Oh, yeah. But it's a really great signal because we all have it. And then the deep damage is done when you start consume more alcohol, when you drink, when you start to feel flat and tired. If you think more booze is going to get me there, more booze is going to get me there, that's where the physical damage is done. And that's where the health side gets a bit dicey. Beautiful work, team. Loved it.
Team, we'll stay on here for 90 seconds at 6:30 on the dot. Nat, we did it.
Oh, again. We did it again.
We did it. So good. Feel free just to jump in. What is your biggest key learning and takeaway from tonight's call? For those of you that have to go right on time, feel free to duck off right now. Thank you for being here. Remember, 200 coins to everyone who sends through their fun fact to info@drinklessfeelfresh.com, and I'll announce the winner of that draw on Friday for a bonus 500 coins. Thanks for the comments. You're so welcome, Rosie. Thanks, Simone. You're welcome, Dan. You're welcome, Simone. Oh, loving these learnings. Fantastic. Yeah, it's incredible, Sarah. A lot of people resonating that with the, if you're thinking about the next drink, you are not in the moment.
Yep.
A lot of people commenting through about that.
Yeah. So what are we doing here? What are we doing? If we can't get into the present, then what are we drinking more for? That's the whole point.
That right there, team, is the mechanics of what Nat and I love teaching, and it's the backbone of Drink Less, Feel Fresh, which is learning that we're not talking preaching alcohol reduction, we're preaching living in the moment.
Yeah, that's the go.
You got to understand that if your alcohol is getting you into the moment, great, just stop the minute you're out of the moment. That is the deep mechanics that a lot of people would never understand is happening here. It's incredible, team. Our hats go off to all of you who are endeavoring to create a deep level of choice and freedom. Yeah, love that, Amanda. Team, can't see any more comments, questions coming through. Here's Drinking Lesson, feeling fresh. Here's to living with choice and freedom. Looking forward to rocking out with you in the app.